Welcome to the Fasting Podcast, Wow, Wellness and Optimal Weight. I'm your host, Julie Phillips, certified natural health professional for 2 decades, bringing you episode 127, Magnesium and Fasting. So first, let's talk about magnesium itself. It's element 12 in the periodic table of elements. It's considered by some to be the very most important mineral in the body. It's what's called an essential mineral, meaning it's not made in the body. We get it from food, drink, or supplements. It's one of the 4 key alkaline minerals, and it helps to regulate the 3 others, calcium, sodium, and potassium, and is actually required for calcium absorption. It's an electrolyte, meaning electrically charged in solution, aiding fluid balance within the body, essential for cell health, and crucial for over 300 biochemical body functions, such as protein synthesis, nerve and muscle function, blood pressure control, heartbeat, etc. Even glutathione, DNA, RNA require magnesium for their synthesis. According to one PubMed study, which is governmental, majority of adults are deficient in magnesium but continue to go unrecognized by many health professionals. Actually, only 1% of the magnesium in the body is in the bloodstream, so it's not going to be evident in a blood test. And one expert estimates 80% of us have a deficiency of magnesium. Now, the RDA, which is considered very low in the natural health world, females over 14 years of age, 310 to 360 milligrams per day, while males 400 to 420 milligrams per day. And you want to take it in coordination with calcium and magnesium. Magnesium is needed for basic things like memory, mood or stress, relaxation and sleep, blood sugar control, bone density, cardiovascular support, detoxification pathways in the liver, gut motility, nitric acid regulation, stomach acid regulation, and so much more. Well, now let's talk quite a bit about fasting considerations with magnesium. Even when you're doing intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating, magnesium intake can be lessened when you're not eating. In a prolonged fast, the level of magnesium can actually deplete quickly, in extreme cases up to 4 to 5 times the norm with an extended water fast. Magnesium and other minerals do not break a pure water fast, in fact, are usually recommended. During a fast, kidneys expel the extra water because insulin levels are low, and with it, minerals like magnesium, sodium, potassium are also expelled. Magnesium depletes during a fast quicker than sodium and potassium, so many people doing a prolonged fast will supplement with magnesium and the pink sea salt that has the good sodium and other minerals. Magnesium helps to balance blood sugar levels, so it may affect cravings and weight loss. Magnesium is required for 3 out of the 4 key rate-limiting enzymes needed for healthy gluconeogenesis during a fast. So deficiency in magnesium can lead to dysregulation of the gluconeogenesis. Now, if you recall from previous episodes, gluconeogenesis is the creation of new glucose, such as the brain needing it, from other substrates, for example, from protein or other components. And this is needed to keep the body going during a fast. So definitely enough magnesium is needed to keep these rate-limiting enzymes going for the healthy level of gluconeogenesis to keep the body surviving. There's a PubMed study on gene expression, and in the study, it was shown that it upregulated something called PPAR. That's required for fat adaptation for better use of fat for fuel. And another good benefit was that it increased the GLUT1, G-L-U-T1, and that was for better utilization of carbs via more glucose transporters to avoid building up in the blood. So when you are eating carbs and broke the fast, this can help with that. And a third benefit can be that it downregulated the bad LDL receptors. So LDL is the bad cholesterol, so there could be less binding to these receptors and therefore more excretion of this bad cholesterol. And here's another really exciting result documented in the Journal of Anesthesiology, that magnesium blocks epinephrine only in lowering the high blood pressure, but not in the cardiotonic aspects. So the heart rate is going to enable, that's not blocked, it's going to enable us to burn more fat and potentially push the fat through the area with the better blood pressure. So many major improvements from having sufficient magnesium during your fasting goals. A few deficiency signs: headaches, including migraines, poor sleep like insomnia, muscle spasms or cramps, irregular heartbeat, fatigue, pain or soreness, poor cognitive processing, getting confused, numbness or tingling, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, weakness, constipation, and related disorders like IBS, fibromyalgia, mood or behavioral disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD. Now, what are some foods that are high in magnesium? And please always choose organic. So some of the foods: green leafy vegetables, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, almonds especially, but some other nuts, spinach, black beans, brown rice, oatmeal, yogurt, kidney beans, bananas, Atlantic salmon, avocados. You can do your own homework Googling the foods you're interested in. But which folks are particularly at risk? Those dependent on alcohol, gastrointestinal diseases or surgeries, some prescriptions like proton pump inhibitors like Nexium, or maybe Lasix prescription, people with type 2 diabetes, the elderly, people that eat GMO, genetically modified and processed foods. So these are some of the at-risk people. So if you've experienced some of these possible deficiency signs and you don't eat many of the foods that are high in it, and your diet is less than ideal, you may want to consider whether or not you might need to get additional magnesium into your body. So the different ways of getting magnesium into the body, obviously we already talked about organic foods like some of the ones we named. And if you get your magnesium this way, it does not result in too much like some of the other ways could. Some people take over-the-counter aids like milk of magnesia, which is not one of the natural forms, but these have some magnesium in them. But here's some supplements to consider. One of them is called magnesium glycinate, and that's a chelated form, which is a chelate is a form that bonds to multiple amino acids and is the same state as we consume, highly absorbable. So a chelated form of magnesium is good. So magnesium glycinate is a chelated form with high absorption and high bioavailability. It's really a good form for trying to correct a deficiency. But there's a newer form that you might want to consider, and you can get this in the same exact capsule as the magnesium glycinate. It's called magnesium L-threonate, Threonate, and it's designed to penetrate the mitochondrial membrane. This is our cellular battery. So again, you can get supplement that contains both magnesium L-threonate and the magnesium glycinate. There also is a form that particularly is used for constipation, and although magnesium citrate is one of them, I know many people that have had fabulous results with an ozonated magnesium oxide with potassium citrate. So it's an ozonated magnesium oxide if you're interested in one that's generally available, even on Amazon, you can email me. And this is constipation is the key factor here. Very ultra low true absorption of magnesium for all the other purposes. And what about those people that have poor absorption via the digestive tract? Well, they call it magnesium oil, but it's not actually an oil, but it looks oily when it's dissolved in water. For questions and feedback, contact me, Julie, at jpwowprograms.com. Please refer others to our podcast and YouTube. And remember, stay positive, focused, and determined, because where the mind goes, energy flows.